Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I'm doing my first ever digital 4K review, but it's for a really good cause. Hey everyone, so thanks for coming back to the channel today. Now, as I mentioned, this is my first ever 4K digital review. I've always reviewed physical media, but this was a movie that I think deserves more attention. It deserved a spot on my channel and did not have a physical media release as of now, so I wanted to review the 4K digital and point out a few areas where I think physical media could benefit this movie and hopefully get us a release. Now, the movie is Barbarian from Searchlight Pictures, 20th Century Studios, now under the Disney banner, and it was one of the biggest horror movies of the year. Very small budget, just a couple million, made like 60 or 70 million at the box office, got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, was a big smash hit indie horror movie. And unfortunately, as of now, there is no date for a physical media release, although luckily the producer of Barbarian has mentioned recording a commentary track. So I'm very hopeful that that will be coming soon, but I do think that there sort of has to be demand in order for Disney and their partners involved here at Searchlight to put this out. So that's why I'm doing a 4K digital review, because I want to make sure that it does get the attention, and I want to make sure that Disney and Regency and everybody involved knows that there is a lot of demand for this title, because I think this video will get a lot of views, and you guys in the comments will let them know. So quick, my 1 minute 60-second review of Barbarian. I thought it was a ton of fun. There's sort of this new wave of horror movies that is just totally unhinged that I'm really enjoying. It's a real throwback to like 80s horror that was just out of control. I'm thinking things like Malignant and now Barbarian that are just so off the wall crazy. And Barbarian had so many different things going on, and sure, some of them weren't totally fleshed out the way I think they could have been. Some of them felt like sort of throwaways, but overall the movie had some really scary moments. I know I jumped at least a couple times, and I wasn't even in a dark theater. I was just in my own basement. And it also had some kind of light moments, some kind of funny moments. You could tell that Zach Kreger, who wrote this and directed it, he was influenced by Jordan Peele, and he admits that, and Jordan Peele had a hand in this. You can tell that there's some sort of a comedic aspect behind all of this, but at the same time, it's very terrifying. I totally recommend it. I think someone said in the reviews, this does for Airbnbs what, Jaws did for sharks, and I would agree with that. And I'm actually in my basement right now, and I do have a little extra room off to the side, a little storage room, and if you know, you know, but I think I'm going to keep that one locked from now on. So I was able to watch this 4K digital copy on VUDU, which I think is one of the better streaming services out there for digital copies, Apple TV probably being number one. But interestingly enough, I tried to watch it on Movies Anywhere to start, and I wasn't watching on HBO Max. I wasn't purely streaming, but I was using a streaming platform. I had a 4K digital code for the movie. Movies Anywhere bugged out on me 3 times in the first 10 minutes, and I was yelling at my TV, this is why we need a disc. But luckily I got VUDU up and running, and that worked fine. So whether you watched it on HBO Max or VUDU, I did watch the actual 4K digital copy that you can purchase, not the HBO Max stream, so that's what I'll be commenting on. Now, I was pleasantly surprised that it did look pretty good even as a digital copy, but where the moments in this movie get really dark, obviously the OLED TV that I have now helped, but you can still see that the quality wasn't 100% there, where I think a Blu-ray or 4K could have really developed and given us better black levels, could have given us better contrast in some instances. But it's also not the most finely detailed picture being through a streaming service, but the 4K digital was pretty impressive. I mean, I would put it on par with like a 1080p Blu-ray at this point. It's definitely nothing to laugh at. It's easy to watch, and if you're not a home theater freak, you probably wouldn't notice a difference. But there are clearly moments where you could see that the quality dipped a little bit, or there was a little bit of sort of like compression artifacting, or in the black, really dark moments, especially down in the basement, you could see where this could benefit from something that wasn't crushing black levels quite as much as a digital copy does. And trust me, this wasn't that bad. I did watch it on HBO Max. I think that crushes the black levels even a little bit more, so you're better off watching the digital copy. But this really is the type of movie that it could could benefit greatly from even just an HD Blu-ray with a really nice master, and certainly from a 4K. So I do hope that it happens, because watching this, there were several moments where I was like, man, this would have been great on disc. Now, the audio on the VUDU copy was only a 5.1. I will say it sounded pretty good. The movie's not really over the top sound-wise. There's a couple jump moments. There's a little bit of a surround action. There's nothing too crazy, so even if it came to disc, it would probably still be a 5.1. I did love the score in this movie, so shout out to the people behind that. But overall, not the most impressive, but dialogue was clear. It was, 5.1 over streaming is just fine. But could it be better with maybe an Atmos track, or maybe a little DTS HD, a little master audio, something that's more high def? I'm not sure. I don't have anything to compare that to, but the 5.1 was nice and I had no issues. So overall, while Barbarian is a really fun movie, I had a ton of fun with this as a horror movie fan, and I think if you're not a horror movie fan, you'll be terrified by this. As a horror movie fan, you'll probably be more fascinated and almost amused by it at some points, which is a good thing. It's not like it's cheesy, but you're going to really just have a good time with it. I could see how it would scare the crap out of people who aren't horror movie fans. But it could really use that 4K copy to get it to the top level, or at least a Blu-ray. And I would love to see some special features. I would love to learn more about this. I know I've seen in interviews that, Jordan Peele did help out and work on the script, and he saw an early cut. And Zach Kreger has talked about his influences for this movie and where certain parts of the movie came from. I was reading a great Letterboxd article that he put together about, 10 inspirations for Barbarian. I'd love to see more of that, and I really would love to see more on the cinematography, because honestly, the movie is beautifully shot. It's really different than anything I've seen in a very long time. There's a lot of POV shots, there's a lot of long panning shots, there's a lot of nicely framed shots. I would just love to see this in its highest quality, and I think it really is a beautiful movie, regardless of how disgusting and horrific it can get on screen. It's shot really well, and a movie like this deserves a physical media release. So I really do hope that it gets one. I am hopeful, given that the producer was doing a commentary, but as you know, like, a commentary track could always just be for a digital release, or I don't know where this is going to end up. If it ends up as a Fox release, if it ends up with a boutique label, I don't know, but I just wanted to make this video, comment quickly on the 4K stream, and just make sure I get this out there, because it is a really fun movie. It's a great time, and it definitely deserves that disc, especially given its success at the box office. We need to bring that success to home entertainment, and I think it would be a big seller for a lot of people, because it certainly created a lot of buzz online, even just coming to streaming, HBO Max, and different streaming platforms like VUDU and Movies Anywhere. So that's it for that quick 4K digital review. I know the first one I've ever done, but if we're being honest here, I love physical media and I support it 100%, but I may have to do more 4K digital reviews over the next several years to keep the channel going, because it is the reality that not everything is going to come to physical. But every time I do these reviews, I will point out where physical media could have helped, and I will talk about whether or not this is the type of movie that really deserves a physical media release and really needs one. I'll comment on that even when I do a 4K digital review. But hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a little different, but still talking AV quality, still talking about movies, all the things you love, just a different format. So have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and stay healthy out there. Make sure you check out Barbarian. Whether it gets a disc or not, it deserves to be seen. It's a ton of fun. And I will talk to you guys soon and be back with more videos before you know it.